Dude, like, you know how we took wolves, right? And we, like, domesticated them, and they're, like, chihuahuas and shit now? If they just, like, domesticated fucking giant camel spider alien things, and now they're just, like, tiny little...
Just pets.
Yeah, this is Fluffy.
This is Fluffy. Yeah. Like, just fucking... We're live.
All right. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to episode 7 of the Easy Company podcast. I am AngryPrivateRyan, and with me, as always, we've got GingerBeerdGaming and 12 Tango Dom.
Morning.
Hold on. What is that? What did you just take a drink out of?
What? My glass, dude. It's my coffee mug.
No, that's
dude, I had a growth spurt.
That is not a coffee.
No, dude, I had a growth spurt overnight. Is what it was.
You did that on purpose.
No, dude. No, yeah, it's my coffee mug.
Completely derailed everything right from the beginning.
I was actually about to let it slide, and then I saw Kyle's face, and I couldn't hold up.
Because I have my normal size.
No, it's an espresso cup. Yeah.
Oh, no, that's a shot glass.
Coming from it's a shot of espresso. No, and maybe some other stuff. Coming from an Italian heritage, right? Italian household. This is what we drank every morning. Like this little tiny little cup of coffee like this every morning. So yeah, I just kind of stuck with me. You know what is funny is my wife actually sent me a coffee machine, an espresso machine, while she's in Afghanistan. It was like, I think it was my birthday. And I just get a fucking package at the house one day, and it's an espresso machine. I'm just like, what? This is the most random thing to just appear at my door. And my wife's like, "Happy birthday from Afghanistan." So
that's pretty pimping, though.
It's pretty pimping.
Okay, well, I don't remember where.
Now that we've got that out of the way,
I think something about episode 7 of a podcast, and here we all are. Jesus fuck. So how we doing, boys?
Doing really good, man. Doing really good.
Good.
Yeah. Not bad. Can't complain.
Yeah.
Can't complain too much.
Ginger was only a little bit late to the podcast this morning, but he's not hungover.
15 minutes. Yeah. Not hungover.
So I'm surprised I feel as good as I do, because I was up pretty damn late last night playing the video.
So are we.
Same. I was pretty sloshed. I mean, I think I did a lot of the whiskey last night. So and I didn't go to I went to bed at 1 my time.
Oh, really? For me.
Yeah, I stayed. I still had almost full bourbon when we got off. So I mean, I got into I watched Dom for a little bit. Reminded him that we had the podcast in the morning.
I was a few beers deep. I definitely would have forgotten if you hadn't reminded me. I had to set my alarm right then and there.
It's actually a really good thing we did. And then I got into a couple YouTube rabbit holes while I finished my bourbon.
That'll do it.
What were you watching?
We got What were you watching?
Oh, me?
Yes, that's what Dom asked.
Oh, sorry. Ginger was talking over him like a rude person. All right. Like I said, I was 6 whiskeys deep. I don't think I remember what I got into. I don't remember. I think I was just watching music videos, honestly. I think that's it.
We played Grounded last night.
I know Ryan was telling me.
Ryan and I have been. I got news in the GingerBeerdGaming front. I got Xbox Game Pass. Somehow I don't even think I registered, even though we had that conversation on the podcast, exactly what you all were telling me, until I got in there and I was
the best thing ever.
I can pay $1 and I have access to all these games. Now the one catch that we did figure out the other night was that you don't retain them in perpetuity. They will take them off of their library, but then I got to thinking about it though, and I was like, how many fucking Steam games have I bought for full price or discounted price, right? And played for 3 hours and then never played again. So honestly, it's the perfect thing. And I abuse the shit out of the Steam refund system too. So anyway, I've been kind of working my way through the catalog. I downloaded Microsoft Flight Sim. Ryan and I played a little bit of State of Decay, and then we got into Grounded last night, which was a really, I don't know how you feel, Ryan, but that was a pleasant surprise for me.
Yeah, I did not expect it to be as kind of deep and well put together as it is. Yeah. And I will say, I did not fathom how well they portray being that fucking tiny. And they do it so well. So for anyone who doesn't doesn't know what Grounded is, it's a new game. It's in early access still, but
newish.
Basically, you're shrunken. It's like a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids situation where you get shrunk down into like about the size of an ant, because I'd say the ants are pretty comparable size to you. You're about the size of an ant in your backyard, and you've got to, like, I don't know if there's some sort of story mission.
Something weird is happening.
Yeah,
something's happened.
But it's just kind of like a exploration survival base building game, and you got to basically just survive your own backyard as an ant. And they do it's crazy, like looking around the world, and you spot something like a fucking garden lawn lamppost thing, and you're like, oh, that's what that is. Don't stop that. And
you spot something and you're like, what's that?
God, this is off the rails.
Tango started it.
Yeah, first we got tiny cups. Now we're doing this.
I told you I had a growth spurt. It's a normal sized mug.
It's the opposite of Grounded. He is bigger now. But yeah, it was oddly very entertaining. Like I kind of honestly expected us to be in it for like an hour and then be done, and we spent all night on it. It
has a really cool like progression to it. Like you're like, because what the fuck were we were trying to figure out.
We need to get water. Like we can't find water.
Our water
just
situation.
Droplets of water on like the blades of grass that are the size of trees.
Yep. Yeah. And you're trying, and so basically we're trying to like find a way to create a sustainable version of that. So like build like the dew collector is what it's called. But to get that, you need to chop down weed stalks. But to be able to chop down weed stalks, you need to have a level 2 axe. And so it really like drives you to keep exploring and finding new shit to be able to find that stuff.
It reminds me a lot of, I was telling Ryan last night, it reminds me a lot of Subnautica, which I talked about last podcast and I really love.
People keep telling me I need to play it after the last podcast now.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you should. I mean, it's the same sort of like kind of loop to it. Like you need more things to go explore more, like, or to go deeper in Subnautica, and in Grounded, it's, kind of, well, I mean, we ended up in the koi pond and we needed to go deeper. So we had to, figure out, find better equipment for that. But in order to find blueprints, you have to go explore. So it kind of gets you out of the base building sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, there were a lot of, like, I wasn't expecting it to have as many different, like materials that interacted in different ways with being able to craft things. Like we just kept unlocking shit. And I was like, oh my God, like you could make a fucking samurai helmet out of an ant head. And like,
I was just about to bring that up actually.
Like we honestly, like, it was kind of funny because like Ryan was getting mad at me because I was like, Ryan, we're not even base building. He goes, we can't base build. We don't have fresh sources of water. And then like, but we didn't even scratch the surface as far as like the actual building of a base. We basically just ran around the fucking map.
Yeah, there is kind of a story. There is kind of a story to it. And like when I played it, it kind of like just launched when I played it, and the group of people I was playing with, like a few of us were base building, and one guy was just going off and just doing quests without us. And he beat the game in like 30 minutes. Like I'm over there building my base. We're like 30 minutes into this thing, and all of a sudden the credits start rolling. We're like, what the fuck happened? He's like, I don't know. I just kept doing quests, and I think I just beat the game. Oh, Jesus, man. You just speed ran the game in like 30 minutes.
Oh, my God.
I wish, and that's what I was looking up last night, because I think we basically beat whatever story is there last night, too. I wish that there was... the early access... I wish that they would not, like, that's the reason I haven't played any of the new Subnautica, is because the story mode's not finished. It's like, okay, like, I love Subnautica, but I'm not going to play this until...
Oh, so that's still an early access game as well?
Below Zero is, yeah.
Yeah, the second one.
There's two of them. Subnautica, just Subnautica is finished, and has been for quite a while, but Below Zero has been in early access for quite a while, I think. Maybe like a year.
Now...
So it's not finished.
The downside of this Grounded game is the giant fucking spiders that literally sent chills down my spine. Like when I saw that. I mean, I fucking hate spiders. I fucking hate them.
Yeah.
And the first time I saw one of those orb weavers, I fucking it fucking chilled me to the bone.
And they do that thing where they raise their front two legs at you, you know? Like I was like, wow, that thing is big.
Yeah. I've got a great clip of Tango when he was streaming Grounded of getting attacked by a spider in the grass forest.
He just showed me that
there's a couple of clips, but my most popular clip, my most watched clip on Twitch is from Grounded. Because my buddies and I were all just screwing around. We're looking for resources. One guy's just like, oh man, I dropped my spear or whatever, right? I was like looking around for it. And I'm like, we're just having a casual conversation. And out of nowhere, you see this wolf spider come up. And I'm just like, holy shit, behind you. And he turns around, the spider fucking roars. And he's like, oh, run.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Not a fan of the spiders. I knew it was going to become an issue when I'm booting it up, and one of the first warning messages is
you can turn the spiders off if you're scared of them.
There's an arachnophobia setting on there for people who legitimately can't handle spiders. And
what does it replace them with, you think? You guys know?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
You turn the spiders off, they don't just cease to exist because you're playing with other people, right?
Maybe it replaces them with fuzzy bunnies or something.
Yeah, unicorns or something.
Dude, see,
insert spider here.
Those? I think that they're just the stink bugs. They just release this cloud of gas.
We haven't run into those yet.
Really? Well, we did get the gas mask.
Yeah, so we got the gas mask.
You guys know, you've seen a stink bug in real life, though, how they're kind of flat. They have a flat body, right? And so I was watching a streamer one day who was just running around, jumping around, doing what you do, running over blades of grass. And he's freaking... he goes and he jumps over this rock, and he didn't notice the stink bug underneath him, right? And he lands on top of it, on its back. And he realized it, just registered, and he's like... And he went to tell his friends, he's just like, yo, dude. And then it releases this cloud and scares the shit out of him. And he hits his knees at the bottom of his desk, bro.
Yeah.
But dude, that game had some scares. But the scariest thing in that game for me is the wolf spiders. Because when I moved to Washington, I saw a wolf spider IRL for the first time, and I was just like, there's no way that exists, and that shit belongs in Australia. That doesn't belong in this country. That is just a massive spider, bro, the size of the palm of my hand. And the first time I ever encountered one, my wife and I had just moved into this apartment. We had no furniture yet. We've never even owned rented or owned a house or anything before this, so we had no furniture. All we had was a mattress on the ground. And her and I laying in bed one night, and we have the lights on, and we're just chilling. And right between the both of us, right between the both of our legs, giant fucking hand-sized spider. Just right between us. And my wife does not do spiders very well. I don't do spiders good at all, right? But I'm trying not to freak my wife out. And I'm like, babe, don't move. Don't even look down. Don't even look down. She's like, what? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? She sees it, and she just ghosts white, right? And I didn't register how big a spider was at the time. I've never seen one this big before. So usually I'll just go and grab a paper towel and I'll crush it, right? And I grab a paper towel and I crush it and I feel this ball in my hand. And I'm like, ah! And I fucking throw the shit in the air, bro. The towel goes one way, the spider goes somewhere else. And I'm like, where the fuck is it? Where is it? I found it and actually killed it. But I was just I wasn't expecting to feel a grape in my hand when I picked this thing up, dude.
Yeah, those guys have got some actual mass to them.
I'm surprised you didn't grab your hand and was like, no, stop it.
They're fast, dude. So the thing about wolf spiders. Okay, so there's a lot of terrifying things about wolf spiders that make them infinitely scarier than most other spiders, and it's not just their size. It's also the fact that they don't spin webs. They just hunt their prey by running after them. So they're fast as shit. Their long, giant legs make them super fast, and they just hunt stuff. And the worst part about them, the worst part about these fucking spiders is that the pregnant females carry all of their hundreds of little babies on their backs.
Yes.
So when you crush them, 100 tiny little babies just go everywhere. That's not fucking cool. God or whoever creates things like that is just
Satan himself right there, my friend.
So it's wolf spiders too that do that. I thought don't Black Widows the Black Widows have like the egg sacs and stuff?
Yeah, they've
too,
got
right?
the little egg sacs, but they don't carry them on their back.
No, yeah, because they spin
back.
webs, so I think they just keep the egg sac on the web, right?
Ugh.
No, wolf spiders don't
wolf
spin
spiders
webs,
are
so they just carry all of their shit. Like
they basically double as a minivan, and they've just got all the kids like rolling
with like hundreds of seats.
Yeah, like really
like
big
the slimes in Minecraft. How you like kill it and then it just spawns into like multiple smaller ones. That's a wolf spider, but it just spawns into like hundreds of tiny little spiders.
No, it's not okay. So
it's not okay at all. It's fucked up.
What was so then? You obviously had to go buy a new mattress because you shit on it, right?
Right.
So,
Set it on fire.
So dude, I've had one of them crawl on me. This is all before I had furniture, and I was like shirtless, just chilling on the ground. But we had our TV, and I'm like sitting there, and I felt something like tickle me, and I looked down, and I jumped up so fast. I never stripped so fast in my life, dude. I took all my goddamn clothes off, like I was just ass naked because I didn't know where this thing was. I didn't know if it was on my clothes. And my wife takes her flip flop and just like throws it at this thing, and it just like scatters across the floor fast as shit. And my wife hits it with her flip flop, and I'm just like, that
dude, how have you not burnt your apartment to the ground? I would have just fucking lit it on fire and been like,
it was a big issue last summer. This summer, I didn't see any. I saw one in my kitchen sink, and like I went to move the faucet to wash it down, and a drop fell out of the faucet and spooked it, and it ran into my garbage disposal. So I was just like, idiot. But I haven't seen as many this year. So
I've caught him before with like, it's funny because like you were talking about doing it with the paper towel, and I was like, oh no, honey, like you got to take a I had a Tupperware,
like a gun
that I just
that too,
and then just slid the like. But even then, it's like you've got actual weight in that fucking thing. I mean, they're huge. They're huge.
Massive. Yeah.
You know what I do?
What's that?
Get the 12 gauge.
Yeah.
And whatever you had a problem over here, ain't no problem no more.
Listen, man, if you live in a state that has wolf spiders, you have to also be able to repair a hole in the wall. That's just kind of like part of the job. Just part of the job.
I went to a trade school thing just to learn drywall, just for that reason,
Spider repair.
Go bang! No, I had I think my issue with spiders stems from a traumatic childhood experience, like most of my issues in my life. And I don't remember how old. I was young. It's one of my like first memories, probably because it's so traumatic. And I was outside playing in the yard, and I was coming back in, and we had the sliding, door thing, and I'm opening the sliding door, and a black widow about this size or so, I mean, huge black widow with all the legs and everything, crawls up my arm because it was like sitting on the sliding door, and I didn't see it, and I grab it, and it climbs up my arm, and I shit everywhere, and I just remember my dad being the fucking man that he is, like literally goes out and picks the fucking spider up like with his bare hands and like throws it into a Tupperware thing and like kills it or something. And but I can't do spiders. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Throws it into a Tupperware and kills it. Like he like holds it prisoner.
He's like,
waterboards it. Like, you gonna fuck with my son ever again?
Strangles the spider.
Dude, that's crazy. The first time I ever saw black widows when I was in Arizona, and we were doing some construction down there for work. Obviously for work. I don't go do construction for fun. But the first time they were fucking everywhere. So part of my job is like soils analysis. We were building a road, and so you need to make sure that it's compact enough. Yeah, and so like around our soils lab, we had this like basically this just container in the middle of the desert. And at night, because we worked at night because it was too hot to work during the day, all the fucking black widows would come out, dude. There was like 10 of them around this little trailer, and I was just like,
I might die here during the day too.
Yeah. They're even like, fuck this shit.
But dude, I also saw a camel spider down there inside of our Connex, and that is the only thing that I could say was ever comparable in size to the wolf spiders that I've seen around here. Up until that point, the camel spider was the biggest thing I've ever seen. And I don't think they use webs either. I think they're also just fast as hell. But I saw
camel
all kinds of
spiders
shit
are
down there. I saw scorpions, tarantulas. Like I've never seen any of these things before. And then I went to Arizona at night. When you're in the desert at night, man, shit comes out.
yeah, it's not a good place to be.
No.
Camel spiders are weird. Like I don't remember looking them up. I don't know if they're like truly like in the arachnid family or if they've just called camel spiders. But my friend, his dad was in the Navy and was in Kuwait during Desert Storm. And he said they would capture like giant fucking camel spiders and would basically have camel spider fighting rings and like bet on the camel spiders and
Sounds
shit.
about right.
And like those camel spiders, like you would put, because they've got like big mandible.
I was gonna say, you ever seen a picture of one?
They put like a fucking pencil in front of one once and it clamped down on it, broke the pencil.
Dude, they're fucking big. Like their mandibles are just like bigger than their head. They're like, it looks like it has like a bicep, dude. They're so fucking big. Like
don't
you imagine, can you imagine what life would be like if things like that were big enough to like some shit like that the size of a car? Can you imagine what life would be like?
I would have killed myself. I'd off myself. I wouldn't be.
It'd be like some fucking alien planet.
Yeah.
Like
it'd be like Grounded.
Bugs are basically it would be like Grounded, right? No, like bugs are basically just like aliens, dude. Like everything you know about what might be lurking in space, you think of like some kind of insect creature, right? You don't think of some big fuzzy like furry mammal looking creature. I instantly think like that there's a giant fucking camel spider out in space somewhere that's like just fucking shit up.
Could be
some other like human
Starship.
like alien race that's just getting beaten down. Oh god.
It's like Starship Troopers. That's what they're fighting. They're fighting the arachnids, the bugs, you know?
Yeah.
They're not fighting humanoids.
And if I'm not mistaken, they like have some kind of venom that like melts your fucking flesh down so they can just drink you. Like that. It's they just like throw up all over.
If we ever find life like elsewhere in this universe, I hope that they are equally as terrified of bugs as we are. Like,
they're just like, we've been fighting them for centuries.
You're good, man. We wiped those guys out long before we found you all. You know, like no worries.
Or dude, like you know how we took wolves, right? And we like domesticated them, and they're like chihuahuas and shit. Now, if they just like domesticated fucking giant camel spider alien things, and now they're just like tiny little
just pets.
Yeah, this is Fluffy.
This is Fluffy. Like just fucking.
I'm gonna go ahead and
he does that. He's moody. He's moody. He hasn't eaten yet today.
Yeah.
What are you fucking feeding him, people?
Dude. Fuck that.
It's hilarious.
So that's what me and Kyle played for a little bit yesterday. What else have you guys been? What's been going on, Ginger? What have you been streaming lately? I think a lot of Red Dead. No.
Yeah. Excuse me. A lot of Red Dead. That's pretty much been it, actually. And I actually kind of took a little bit of a hiatus this week because I'd been kind of grinding Red Dead pretty hard. So yeah, I'm probably about maybe close to halfway done with Red Dead. I'm on day like 11 or 12. I can't remember which. And I just got through the roads area, so just completed that story arc. And yeah, I mean, just been having quite a bit of fun with Red Dead. It's been nice to actually play something that that I don't know, that's not Arma or some kind of milsim that I'm actually into, because it's been hard for me to get into like a story driven game lately. And that one, I mean, I don't know, that game is just, I mean, I spent one stream like so when I opened up so I've actually played a little bit past Roads, but I spent one stream. Like I tweeted out like, oh, we're going to hit the mean streets of Saint Denis. And I didn't even step foot in Saint Denis. Like I just literally like spawned outside of it. And I was like, oh, side quest. And I just ran all over the map and did a bunch of fucking shit, you know.
The stream has determined that was a lie.
It was a lie. Yeah,
so that was a fucking lie.
Bounty hunter missions and all sorts. I lost my horse. The tragic saga of Mary Jane.
Lost?
Yeah, she died.
Like she died? How?
So I don't. Okay, so what happened was I
went
hit
her with a train.
I didn't hit her with a train. So I did. I was on so I have my horse Mary Jane, who's got like, full bar of like horse bonding and whatever. Like great horse. Very fast as fuck.
The best horse.
The best horse. She's cheated death a couple of times already. Actually, we got involved in a firefight that was no fault of my own, and she took a bullet right to the skull. But we were able to revive her. But this time. I'm on the trail of Happy Jack or whoever the fuck bounty hunting. He's a drunkard and he's on the train, right? And so I gotta get on the train, and I got on the train. I'm confronting Happy Jack or whatever the fuck his name is, and the train takes off, and I see on the little mini map, I see Mary Jane is following the train, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's good. Like I'm glad they built that into the game. Like when I get off this train after I'm done with this guy. I won't have to go find the horse. She's following along. Well, apparently somewhere along the way, it went terribly, terribly wrong. Cause I got, I did the gunfight and everything, and I get off the train and I'm at the station and I hit the button to whistle for the horse and it says, your horse is dead. So I don't, so it's kind of like a dog that you lose and you just never find again. Like, I don't know.
Cause you built that bond with it. Like,
I know. And I couldn't, I have no closure or anything. And then the whole rest of the stream, like I was trying to find a replacement horse and I'm like, fuck, this horse sucks. I want Mary Jane back. God damn it. You
didn't name your new horse.
I named it Mary Jane II, which I shouldn't have done because you shouldn't put that pressure on the new horse. Those are
big horseshoes to fill.
Right, exactly. So we got to, I don't know, we got to figure something out. But I was super bummed. Like I'm imagining horse. She probably just got like another oncoming train. Just hopefully it didn't quit because she was a good girl. But
I always name my horses Bojack. In that game.
That's a good one.
I love it. That's a good one.
Come here, boy.
I don't think I've ever had a
Bojack.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had a male horse. I usually have I have the female ones.
Did you know that when you have a horse and you go up into the mountains where it's cold, your horse's balls shrink in that game?
Yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep. They have some level.
That's the level of detail that we're looking for in video games. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
That's the shit. Yeah, I remember watching. I actually think I watched it live when you got into that firefight, and Kyle's he gets off his horse and he just blows these guys away, and he's like, huh, and he's like walking over to one, and I think he was all done looting. He's like, I think he hit the button to like call his horse, and the horse didn't come, and he's like, he literally just goes, Mary Jane. And then turns around. Mary Jane is just laying on the ground. And he's like, oh my God!
Bastard shot Mary Jane. That reminds me though, the time when you said that she took a bullet to the head, that reminds me of this one time. It was in the first Red Dead. I was playing with a bunch of my buddies online actually. And we saw a group of players and we were up on this ridge. It was like a cliff, more like, not just a ridge. Mm-hmm. And so I run up to the ridge because we're going to go shoot down at these guys. And I'm aiming through my sights. And as I go to pull the trigger, my horse rears up and I shoot my horse right in the back of the head. And my horse and I both tumbled down this cliff and I died of like falling. And I'm like, are you fucking serious?
It was at this moment he knew he fucked.
Bro, I shot my poor horse right in the back of his head and we both just tumbled down that mountain together.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't remember. I know that like Red Dead games have always been. If I have one criticism of them, it's that it's like the fun thing. The fun. What's always been the most fun about GTA has been just like going off and going on a murderous rampage or like racing down the highway and crashing and flipping. And there's not any like real consequences to it. Like I mean, you'll get the wanted level up, but you can. Unless you just start killing cops, like you can pretty much, get away.
Yeah.
In Red Dead, it does feel like, especially in 2, I don't remember as much on 1, but especially in 2, it does feel like they will slap you down with the long dick of the law real quick if anything happens,
Just because of the bounty system.
Right, the bounty system. And I don't hate it necessarily, but it is kind of like sometimes because it is a little bit, I mean, that game is all about story and immersion, right? So it is a little bit immersion building if Arthur just fucking shoots up a town with no consequences. But it does feel a little bit like, I mean, I've actually been running, I don't know if it's a bug or something, but I've been running into it where like I will stop So like the recurring thing that sometimes happens where you'll run into somebody who's like robbing a stagecoach or something, and they've already killed everybody, right? And so you just off them, and then you just start looting, and then somebody will like pop up over the hill, and it'll be like murder witness, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, or when you get ambushed and you kill all the guys, and then like
another guy sees you gotta kill that guy too.
Yeah, and you like it's like the cover up was way worse than the crime, you know. At that point,
in their defense, if you're like just rolling over a hill and you see a bunch of dead people at a stagecoach and you're looting it, I would probably be a little sus too.
Well, right, but it's happened to me before when like the Lemoyne Raiders have tried to bushwhack me and I fucking kill them all, and then some fucking hillbilly rolls over the hill. It's like, oh my god, you've killed all these men. And it's like, no, I've self-defense, man.
Where you like had your gun aimed at him, and you're like, nothing happened, understand? He's like, okay, and then like another guy walked up and saw you threatening that guy, and he's like, hey, what the hell? And then you like shot that guy, and then two more guys rolled up behind you, and you're just like, what the?
I was in the middle of nowhere.
Why are all of you out here? It's like,
it is kind of ironic to your point, Kyle, that in Red Dead versus like GTA, in Red Dead, in a factually based area where communication is very difficult, to get across in a very expeditious time frame, it's your crimes almost get reported quicker in Red Dead than they do in the 21st century over in GTA.
Yeah, and what a bunch of fucking snitches too. I mean, like these people just rolling up and
in
just
the Wild West,
gotta
be a fucking man.
Well, the whole snitches get stitches mantra hadn't really caught on yet. So.
That's true.
Snitches typically just got a bullet, though. I would think. I don't know how good the medical care was back then. I'd probably just amputated your leg if you got shot or something.
Yeah.
Snitches get bopped like Mary Jane.
I know, poor Mary Jane.
Rest in peace, Mary Jane.
It's been a fun. I mean, I'm excited to play more of it and finish it.
Yeah, and then just to reiterate to everyone, Kyle has promised that he will finish Red Dead on stream. Mm-hmm. So
or he would delete his Twitch, I think was the
Yep.
Yeah. So you have to do it now.
That's the wager.
We will never have to see him again if he doesn't finish.
What do we do with the podcast if you don't finish, dude? Now you have to finish.
You can just have like a bearded doll, like in one corner, like
bring him, we'll bring him in. We'll bring him in like 30 minutes into each episode. He's late.
I'm actually curious about one thing though, guys. Do you like the fact that you can't really get away with as much crime in Red Dead, whereas in like GTA you can kind of just do whatever and just get shot and then respawn at the hospital and everything's fine, minus a few $100 in your pocket, whatever it is.
I do. That wasn't a criticism of it necessarily. I just was pointing it out. I like it. I mean, it fits with the immersion of the story. Like you're not.
I was gonna say
there's more guardrails in place. You can't just fucking.
Right.
I mean, that's the way it should be.
There's pivotal points of the story where your whole camp has to pick up camp because now your whole camp is wanted too much, and it wouldn't fit if it was just like, well, yeah, but Arthur was here wanted for like $2,000 the whole time. Like,
right. Yeah. No, I completely agree. I think it's well blended with how the game overall just feels. I think I like each one in its own way, and I think I think it works really well with Red Dead. So I like it. I think it works.
With Red Dead it works. With GTA though, did you guys like GTA 4 or GTA 5 more? Like in terms of you could get away like they are two different games, but that's what I mean. Which style of GTA do you prefer? Because I personally prefer GTA 4, where it was kind of more grounded, a little less over the top. I think the over the top stuff is left for games like Saints Row. I think that's like, GTA 5 is kind of in between Saints Row. It's not as extreme, obviously, but I don't know. I rather enjoyed the car physics of Grand Theft Auto 4, where the cars felt like they had some weight to them. You couldn't stop on a dime. Some of the cars were really front heavy. Like you just had this freaking, few 100-pound
or something
silverback gorilla sitting on the hood of your car, and you just spin out. But I mean, I think I prefer that.
I don't know. Yeah, that's a tough one for me, just because it's so. I liked each one in its own right, but
I did like GTA 5 a lot.
GTA 4 was good. I mean, I don't know.
I think we've had this conversation before about how different they are and how they made different decisions. I don't think they're like. I don't think there's anything wrong with either approach. I mean, yeah, I think I would agree though that I would prefer. I mean, I don't know though. I was gonna say I would prefer.
The more I think about it, I don't know.
Yeah. See,
what have you done? Having the more guardrails, but then on the other hand, it's fun to just kind of do the chaos stuff. You know. I don't know really why, but it feels like it makes more sense that the chaos is more of a thing in GTA 5. Maybe it's just because it's the general game style, maybe, but it does feel like it fits a little better. Yeah.
San Andreas is beautiful too. I liked Liberty City a lot. It reminded me a lot of New York City. Like I think they really did a good job of this like just concrete jungle. I could smell the piss when I freaking played GTA 4 because that's what the majority of New York City smells like to me. But
they did do well with the ambiance of the city and everything. It really does very well.
And I think they did. They really did a good job with LA too, though, because my wife is from the LA area. She's from like Orange County, so I've been around there, and I noticed a lot of places where I'm just like, hey, I recognize that building from GTA, because how LA kind of has all the mountains around it, and then it's got that like that smaller kind of city that is LA that kind of sticks up out of it all. The first time I ever went to LA, I was actually really impressed by like. I don't know if this is impressing really, but like we were driving to LA because my wife lives about 50 minutes from the city. And as you're driving on I-5 to go to LA, you could see this bubble of smog. And it reminded me of like some force field from Star Wars or something, like just around the city. And I was just like, that's a lot of pollution. But it was literally just like a bubble around the city. But then it got me thinking. I was like, that's probably what New York City looks like. You just don't have like the clear open skies and like the wide open terrain leading up, because it's a lot more I guess just a lot more mountainous, or there's a lot more trees. I don't know. It's just not as open around New York City as it is in LA, so you don't notice it as much. But.
Not as many trees and stuff.
Well, and all
they're both beautiful cities. They're both fun cities.
It's those mountains and stuff that helps keep that smog where it is too, like having the hills and stuff. That's part of the reason, right? It keeps it, the wind blows it in from the coast, but then it can't really go anywhere because it hits those hills and whatnot. So
I just remember thinking while driving to it though, I was like, I'm just gonna enjoy the fresh air while I can, because
put your gas mask on, boys. We're going in.
It's always really weird too. Like we were walking down Hollywood Boulevard, and I remember there's all these people that dress up as different movie characters, and they try to get you to take pictures with them, and then they expect a tip for it.
Yep.
It's just like, dude, you're not even the real Spider-Man. It actually got me. The one that got me was Chewbacca, because this guy's costume was actually really good. It was really good, and I was like, okay, I'll tip you. And then like some half-assed like Batman tried to get in on the picture, and I was just like, no, just Chewbacca.
Don't mix the worlds. You can't do that.
Can't do that, and your costume sucks. Like you got to try harder if you want. If you got tipped, you can't just go to get like some fucking dollar store Halloween costume, like, and then go to Hollywood Boulevard and try to take pictures of people. You gotta have a convincing costume.
I'm sure people on Hollywood Boulevard would beg to differ, but
dude, I'm talking
is this
like
the real Caesar's Palace?
Like Hulk costumes.
Like, is this the real Caesar's Palace?
Yeah. I'm sorry. Like, did Caesar actually live here?
That's where my mind went when you were like, "You're not even the real Spider-Man."
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
I've been to Vegas too, man. Vegas was fun. I've always been there for a night though.
This year,
yeah,
I went to Vegas right before the Rona hit. Actually, turns out now that they're doing all this research on the Rona and stuff, like there was probably Rona all around me in Vegas when I was there.
There's always Rona in Vegas, so let's be real.
But what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, so
yeah. So the Rona never left with you, obiously.
No.
So you didn't contribute to spreading it at all. You could sleep
I left it there. I was like,
thought.
okay, you stay.
That's the rules. Vegas rules.
There's probably worse shit in Vegas floating around there than Rona, though. Let's be honest.
Yes.
Yeah. Forget I got Ebola everywhere around there. Oh fuck.
What's Tango been playing?
Yeah, Tango. What have you been playing lately?
So I've been playing a lot of DayZ, the new Namalsk map released.
How is it?
it's fantastic. I've experienced DayZ. Remember how I always have the conversation where there's a million different ways to play DayZ, and I've experienced a new way to play DayZ again because of this map. So this map is like an extremely favorited map amongst a lot of people who played the DayZ mod for Arma 2. And apparently like this map also had like bloodsuckers from Stalker in it and stuff. Like it was its own beast entirely. And I've always heard people talk about it. Oh man, Namalsk, those were the days. Oh, Namalsk this, Namalsk that. And then it was like a few days ago, like what's today, December 5th? I was like December 1st, right? Where I heard that the lead developer of DayZ, his name is Sumrak on Twitter, Sumrak. He's the lead developer of DayZ, and he's also a hobby modder. And I heard that he was recreating Namalsk with a team of modders for DayZ standalone, and I was just like, that's really freaking interesting, right? And then I heard like, scheduled to release December 3rd, and I was like, holy shit, that's in 2 days. Like, I had really high hopes for this map because it's the freaking lead developer of the game. I don't expect him to produce some half-assed content, even if it's a mod for his game. And I was pleasantly surprised when I played it. It seems like a very finished, polished map, almost like it's a part of the main game. Like it's not even supposed to be a free mod. It felt kind of like a DLC. And the entire dynamic of gameplay changes with Namalsk because in DayZ, your biggest enemy was always other players. It was always the biggest fear. It was the most threatening thing to your life was other players. Now it's the environment. The environment is actually more scary than other players. And the map is a lot smaller than the other two maps, than Chernaris and Livonia. And so it's easy to run into people. You run into people all the time. But I think I've noticed that most people are a lot friendlier, like even after you're all geared up, because typically in DayZ, everyone's typically pretty friendly in the spawn zone, right? And then you find a gun and all bets are off. It's like, okay, it's so hard to get a gun. I have a gun with ammo. Like you become super distrustful to everybody at that point. Cause now you're like, I have some gear. Now people have what I want. And so you get put on the defensive as soon as you find a weapon. You're like, fuck everybody. Don't come near me. Like I'll shoot you. And so with Namalsk, I've noticed that even after people get geared up in the 2 days that I've played the game, I've noticed that people don't shoot you right away. Like for the game, you got to start a fire repeatedly, like multiple times a day in game, especially at night. You're not going to survive if you don't have a fire because the cold will kill you more often than anything else will in Namalsk. And you'll see fully geared players. You'll come up to a fire pit and there's a bunch of fully geared dudes around it. And they're just like, hey, come warm up by the fire. And you're just like, what the fuck game is this? Right. But it had some really interesting, like I was playing with Veggie yesterday and we almost didn't survive the night because we were getting hungry, and it goes back to the long dark where you have to keep moving or you're going to run out of resources and the cold is going to kill you, right? And now that kind of dynamic, not as in depth as the long dark, but that dynamic has been added to DayZ where Veggie and I were hungry, we were thirsty, we didn't really have anywhere to go. It was nighttime, so we couldn't see anything. It was freezing cold, and we got stuck in the middle of a blizzard. So we're like, hey, we'll spend the night here. We'll spend the night in this factory. There was like this oil drum that we set up a fire in. And I was like, in the morning, we could hear some deers in the distance. I was like, in the morning, we'll go hunting for some deer, and we'll be fine. And of course, as soon as I say that, a blizzard hits. And I'm just like, oh my God. So we're running out of firewood for our fire. We're getting really hungry. And I'm like, Veggie, we might have to go like out into the blizzard and hunt these freaking animals, right? If this thing doesn't clear by morning. So we're running out of firewood. Veggie's like, okay, hold on, I'll go get firewood. And he just goes out into the darkness, into this blizzard.
Never returned.
And he was gone for a while, and I was like, shit, I might have to go look for him. Like I'm fucking sitting here. I'm sitting here blowing into the fire so that it doesn't go out. I'm sitting like fuck, Veggie, where are you with this firewood? I'm trying to keep this lit. And I'm like, dude, Veggie, I was convinced. I was like, Veggie died. There's no way. Like he got lost out there. You can't see anything. It's snowing so hard. It's windy. And then Veggie comes back in, and no shit, it was just like the Red Dead in the beginning, where Veggie comes back, he's got logs in his hand, he's like, Morgan, is that you? And he comes back in, and we warm up for the night, and then the sun comes up finally, right? And we're like, I was just like, yo, we have to go out into the blizzard. If we don't go out into this blizzard, we're gonna die if we stay here. So we get our stuff, we wring out our clothes, you know, because your clothes are soaked from just this snow, I guess, whatever. We're as dry and warm as we could possibly get. Fucking load our weapons, and we head out into the blizzard. And then it's just like crazy winds, just all you hear is just fucking wind, and you can't see anything because it's snowing so hard. And we get up, and the deer is getting like closer and closer. And we get up to the mountain where we hear this deer. And we're within like shooting distance of it now, and the blizzard clears, and there's this deer just like in the sunlight, just like so fucking majestic and beautiful, right?
Boom!
And the deer sees us and starts bolting, and we're like, oh no, we have to kill this deer, we're gonna starve to death. Like Veggie was basically on the brink of starvation or dehydration or whatever the hell it was. So the deer starts zigzagging, like some weird, crazy zigzag. I got my double barrel shotgun. I miss my first shot. He's got like his little Scorpion, his little 380, and he's just like trying to pepper this thing. And I'm just like, oh my God, I gotta fucking hit this. We're gonna die. And I line up my second shot just right, and I drop the thing. We're just like, yes. So like Veggie's skinning this thing. He's like, dude, start to fire up. I'm gonna die. My health is red. I'm like, oh shit. So we're like panicking, starting to start this fire, and we barely made it. And so after all was said and done, our bellies were full, right? We were hydrated because the meat hydrates you enough. We were warm enough. And Veggie and I look at each other after a pause, and we're just like, that was a rough night. But though, like, you don't have that experience in the base game of DayZ, where you almost don't survive the night because of the weather and the environment. Mm-hmm. And so it brought that dynamic to DayZ, which I thought was a really welcome change. And yeah, that was my experience with Namalsk so far. I'm having a really awesome time with it.
So
Nice.
One thing that could have saved you, Tango, that would have required much less effort.
Kill Veggie.
Was you could have killed Veggie and ate him.
I told him that afterwards. I was like, dude, if we missed that deer and you died, I would have had to eat you to survive. Yeah.
All right, well, see ya. You're gone. That's just a damn shame.
You're not using this leg anymore.
No. You know what's awesome though is that the map actually has its own little backstory. Because supposedly this is where the virus that turned everybody into zombies was created, was on Namalsk. If you watch the trailer, it talks about there being a laboratory somewhere on this island where the virus was created, and like military forces were set to this island to destroy the lab and put a stop to the people creating this virus. But when they arrived at the island, they found out that the scientists on the island had a military force of their own, and they were prepared to defend the island. And so they were able to fight off the military and spread the virus throughout the whole world. So by the time the military got there and was able to do anything about it was actually too late. And there's a whole bunker system, this whole underground laboratory that Veggie and I were able to, that Veggie and I found. And there was documents there that talked about the virus. I wasn't even able to read it before I died because, spoiler alert, I fucking froze to death because I'm a dumbass and I didn't have my heat pack activated. But thing is, when you're down there, it's pitch black. Your inventory is pitch black. Like you could see the outline of your items.
I was wondering what the fuck that was. Okay.
That's what happens when you're in that bunker. Everything is just dark. It's claustrophobic. There's narrow like tunnels everywhere. And it felt like we were in like a stalker mission or like a Metro mission where you're in like, it reminded me of like being in D6 in Metro. If you guys have ever played Metro, where you're just in this underground like bunker system, and there's like fucking like people there that want to kill you, and everything is just concrete, and there's laboratory equipment, and you're just trying to discover what happened. Everything is dark. And that's why I forgot about my heat pack that I had in my inventory, because I couldn't see my fucking inventory. And then I realized after I was freezing, I was like, oh shit, I have a heat pack somewhere, and I'm like rummaging through my bag and I can't find it. And I'm like, I found it, and I activated it, right? And it was too late. I died. But that was a really cool like environment to be in.
Yeah. I really liked, I played a little bit of it when we were fucking with you the other night, and Veggie and I, and like the cool thing to me was, and I caught a little bit of your stream when you were in the bunkers. The I don't know, the lighting, like I feel like that map makes the light system in DayZ really shine. Like I think I was trying to link up with Veggie the other night, and I just happened to see a fire in one of these buildings, and I came around the corner and like I literally screamed because this guy was like, he had a ghillie suit hat on and he's like over the fire, and I can't describe to you how creepy that was. And I was like, oh my God. And he was like, oh, hey. And I was like, hi, you scared the shit out of me, man. Like, he's like, you look creepy. But it like the ambiance in that map is
it's
really,
like a
really
swamp
cool.
monster, just like
you look like a monster, like
I'm all Greg.
Yeah, but like that map, there's just they added so much to it, and for a mod, it doesn't feel like a mod. It actually feels like a part of the base game. And even like if you're in some old city ruins, right, if you go next to the playground, you can hear whispers of like children laughing and running around and playing. I was in this old abandoned building, huddled around a fire. I had like another fire pit, like a fire barrel, and I'm sitting there trying to get warm, and I can hear little bare feet running around, and I thought there was somebody around me like trying to kill me, but then I could hear like kids laughing, and I could hear ghosts whispering, and just like little bare feet running around me, and I was like, this place is nuts, bro. Like,
yeah, I want a new Stalker game so bad. I want it.
You're
I
about
want
to
like
get one.
I know. When is that coming out?
I don't know.
I know they announced it with the
2030.
Xbox stuff. 2030, yeah. I want a Stalker game. I want like Tarkov gunplay with like Stalker monsters, and
Nobody has done Tarkov gunplay better than Tarkov, though. Unfortunately,
I know.
That's why you call it Tarkov gunplay.
I know.
Yeah. But like the guns just feel so good, and the recoil just boom, 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 feels like the gun's got some weight to them, like no game has done it better. No game has done recoil better than Tarkov has.
I hope they copy that. I hope every hardcore game copies it from here on out.
That and like the gun models, like the amount of detail that's put into the gun models and the gun model parts in Tarkov is just really unparalleled to any game. The only game that made me feel like, wow, these gun models are really awesome was DayZ before Tarkov came out, and then Tarkov came out, and I was just like, no game's ever gonna do this better. No. I was actually playing Tarkov last night too.
I saw that. Are you back, or has it seduced you back?
I saw you tweeting about. Yeah. You had said something about Tarkov's calling your name again.
It called. I answered the call, and
hello.
I'm not disappointed. I was actually really worried because I was like, worried that I was gonna be super rusty at the game, but I got right back into it, and Veggie and I actually slayed. Our first two missions were actually just really unlucky because we ran into a team of 4 and a team of, I think it was like a solo guy, so it was 2v5, and we killed 4 of them.
Yeah.
So
I saw that one of them hopped in your chat afterwards too.
Yeah, he did. Because I was just telling him, I was like, yeah, we fucked those guys up, and he's like, I'm not so sure you fucked us up. I was like, there's only one of you left. Like, yeah, fucked up. Sorry. Like you might have survived, but tell me that mission didn't hurt you guys a little bit.
Yeah, he was kind of acting like a little bit of a dick. It seemed like to me. He was like, oh,
yeah. He probably came in the stream and just like thought I was talking shit. And really, I was just trying to say like, hey, like we in that situation, we were so outnumbered. Like we did a good job, and we made them regret coming after us at least.
Yeah.
And then the same thing in our next mission. It ended up just being like a really big team versus us, and then we got into a fight with another big team on customs, and actually ended up coming out of that one alive with like 2 HKs. One of them was a meta HK, like full meta HK. I went in there with my SVD, and I was kind of just like, Mel Gibson in The Patriot when they ambushed that British patrol through the woods, and he's like shooting from one position, and then he runs around and he's shooting from another, and they're like, how many are there? Like, that's what I felt like.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a good night. It was a good night.
That's awesome.
So, you want to hear what I'm playing?
Yes. Ryan, what are you playing?
I've been playing Crash Bandicoot.
Oh, right.
On what platform?
So, on my new Xbox Series X.
What? That is so insane that you got a Series X, dude. That is so that's such a highly sought after piece of equipment today.
Hey, Deke's playing on his. He got a PlayStation 5. He's playing on that this morning.
I know.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, they're starting to come into existence amongst the people.
They are real. Yeah,
they are real. But no. Shout out to Nyans. He basically had 2 on order because he was like trying to pre-order a bunch of them and ended up getting screwed out of one. But then they honored it in the end. So he was like, "Well, I got 2 now," and I was like, "Well, I'll just buy that second one off of you."
That's really awesome.
So I got my hands on that. And yeah, and then I also bought a capture card from my buddy Meech. So it's kind of like I was thinking to myself, I've been having a lot of technical issues streaming on the one PC right now, and I've got the capture card. I was like, you know what? I should find something on the Xbox I can stream, because the quality will be great. I've been streaming in 1080 now. Nice. Usually I stream in 720, but I was trying to think of what to play. And I was like, you know what might be kind of fun, because I never went back and did it, would be, so, a while back they remastered the original Crash Bandicoot games, which I think I've talked about on the stream or the podcast a couple times. Crash Bandicoot's like the very first video game I ever remember playing. Yeah. And I played all 3 of them, as, growing up and whatnot. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I should go just rebeat them on stream. So, I've been doing that. I beat I've almost been beating it like 1 game per stream lately. I've streamed it twice now. No, 3 times now.
3. I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah, 3 times, and I'm almost done with
you've
the
been
third
beating
one.
it a lot, but we're talking about Crash Bandicoot here, so could you just
only beat it 3 times since last week.
It has been fun, but it has been fucking miserable all at the same time. Like that's what
platformers are.
I hate that game. I hate that game so much. Fuck that fucking game. Yeah. So it's just been Deke's loving it because he's a big platform guy. And he's in my chat 24/7 just yelling at me like, "Hey, dumb shit, what are you doing?" And it's just been, I think for the most part, people have been enjoying it just because you just watch me fucking get absolutely demolished by a game, and I've been getting real mad. There've been some good clips that come out of it, but
it has been hilarious watching you get just full tilt.
Oh, it's fucking ridiculous.
Bad.
So
or Crash Bandicoot.
It's been enjoyable. I don't know, I threw around the idea of, I've only got a few levels left on the 3rd one. I know they actually released a new Crash Bandicoot recently. I don't know if I want to go play that. I've thrown around the idea of going back, and another thing they did a while back was remastered all of the old Spyro the Dragon games. And I have that, never beat those. So I was thinking like, well, do I go back and beat all the Spyro games too? But I gotta be honest, dude, I don't think I want to play a platformer again for a little while. It's really beating the shit out of me. It is mentally draining. I can literally feel myself getting more depressed.
You need a recovery period after Crash Bandicoot.
I want us it's probably a topic for another time, but like, platformers are so fascinating to me because it's like a whole nother gaming ecosystem within the gaming ecosystem. Like we pretty much, I think, of the 3 of us, kind of stay in our lanes, as far as like the kind of the games we play, and we really enjoy. And I don't dislike platformers. I like them. I suck at them. Like it's funny because Ryan's saying like it's beating him up mentally. I think that's why I never finished Doom. Because Doom was just like, dragging yourself. We joke about Tarkov being like getting kicked in the dick like repeatedly, and it's true. But Doom is almost at another level. Oh. Like it just,
Doom on nightmare mode. I don't know how I finished it. The last boss literally took me like 3 hours to beat, and then of course I was like, yes, I did it, and then. Boom, stage 2, motherfucker, you're not done yet. Right. And you're just like,
And there's something, yeah.
I think like on my YouTube channel I still have all of the clips of me doing all of the Doom gates and all of the bosses. And like all I took was the clip of my successful attempt because the video would have been way too long otherwise. But like when you go back and you watch the clips and you're just like, I did not know I was capable of that. Like you just the quick reflexes and the fucking fast paced movement, and you're just like, holy shit, like. And like you have that kind of warm up stage too when you start the game up and you're kind of rusty and you're just like, that was crap, that was a crap run. But then you start to get into this flow, and then it almost becomes like a dance, you know, where like you're just in this combat phase and everything just starts to feel really fluid, and you're so laser focused. I couldn't even take my eyeballs off. I couldn't even blink during some of those fights because you're sitting there and for like a solid 20 minutes you're in this one fight, and finally when that Slayer Gate complete pops up on the screen, it feels like you just were drowning and you just came up to the surface for air right before you were about to drown to death. Like that, it feels that good. It is just, but it has that old school style. Like if you think about platformers, right? Platformers are like one of the first video game genres ever to come out. Now there has been a lot of genres added since then. And I think that's kind of like you were saying, we stay in our lanes because we're just like, I personally, I'm just into the newer stuff, right?
Right.
But I don't dislike platformers, and like they're always going to have their place in gaming for sure, because of which they've done so much for gaming. Gaming fucking comes from like things Super Mario Brothers and all the old all the old platformers like that.
Right.
So much of what drove me to want to do Crash is not necessarily that I like platformers a whole lot. Like I'm kind of the same way, Tango. I appreciate them for what they are and whatnot, and I am going to play host here, and I'm going to stop us on the platformer thing because I think that could be a great topic later down the road, and I think we got some fun stuff coming when we can talk about some platformer things. But
who put Ryan in charge?
Shut the fuck up! Shut up!
Be right there.
This is my podcast. Look at me. Look at me. I'm
the host now.
The podcast.
So I will say what really drove me to want to play Crash though was not necessarily I want to play platformer. It was I never beat him, and I wanted to, and two, it is extremely nostalgic playing those games again, and so that's really like what my stream titles for these streams have just been #nostalgia because. It's just, especially now that I'm playing the third one, which is obviously the one I remember most because it's the most recent one that I would have played. It's just so weird. Like I'm like transported back to when I was playing that for the first time. It's just extremely nostalgic. So that's really why I wanted to play him again, was just kind of that cool nostalgia factor it's been neat. It's been neat. But every time I beat one of those games, I feel like I just completed like I just did the final in college, like like a final exam, and I'm done, and I can finally like, oh fuck, thank God, that sucked.
Don't have to do that again.
Holy shit! I mean, it beats the shit out of me. So, we'll finish the third one, and I just still haven't fully decided what I'm going to go into next, but it's been good. Yeah, it's been enjoyable.
I've been kind of chasing that nostalgic feel too lately because on our Arma 3 server, we've been playing the Fallout mod, and somebody kind of recreated the Mojave Wasteland from Fallout New Vegas, and it's like a smaller version of it, but all the towns are there. There's Good Springs and Novak. There's New Vegas itself. There's White Plains or White Hills, whatever. Like all the towns are there. And the music, like the soundtrack is there. All of the outfits and all the weapons that you can wear are all modeled after the Fallout clothing items, all the Fallout items and equipment. And so I was like, I really kind of want to play Fallout again. And so I really wanted to play Fallout 3, but it's just, I can't get it to work right on Windows. There's like a compatibility patch that you can download, and I downloaded it, but it says that I have 60 frames per second, but it still just looks insanely choppy to me, and I don't know what to do about it, and it's just really frustrating. And it's just like, I really want to experience Fallout 3 again. And it's just like, I can't believe that they still even sell that game on Steam, because it's a piece of crap. It doesn't work with modern computers.
How old is that game?
Old.
I was in high school when I played it, like religiously.
Old. Old. Did you guys play Fallout 4?
Yeah, I played a lot of Fallout 4.
I played a ton of Fallout 4.
What do you think?
I loved it. I enjoyed the base building mechanics that they introduced into it.
I thought that was cool too.
I love base building and whatnot. So Fallout 4 was the first Fallout. Like I played the other Fallouts. I never got super into them. But Fallout 4 was the first one that kind of grabbed me, and I did play a lot of it. That came out my senior year of college. So I actually remember me and my two other roommates in our living room in our apartment in college. We brought all of our TVs out into the living room and just all set up our Xboxes, and we're just sitting there playing Fallout all like it was fucking awesome. It was so much fun.
I played all of the Fallouts from Fallout 3 to New Vegas to 4 like religiously. The only thing I could say about Fallout 4 is that it felt a little bit repetitive, like setting up all the settlements and stuff. Like it felt like a lot of the quest lines were just like do the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. It's just in a different spot.
Yeah.
That's what I didn't like about that. Like I think that the side quests and the quests and even just the dialogue options were extremely well written in Fallout 3, and especially in Fallout New Vegas, because Obsidian has a knack for that kind of thing. And I really hope that because Microsoft kind of has both of them under under their umbrella, that they can make a really awesome game again. But
by the way, I don't know if anybody knows. Well, Ryan and I figured it out last night, but Obsidian is responsible for Grounded. So that was part of, like, at the end when we were logging off, I saw the logo. I saw the logo and I was like, oh fuck, that's why this was so good. Like that's, this definitely has their fingerprints on it. Sorry, not to derail, but I just say that earlier.
No, you're fine. I completely get where you're coming from though there, Tango. I mean, and that's what created that meme, right, of the Fallout 4 guy where he's like, another settlement is in need of your help. It's because it's like it seems like every single time, I completely understand. But
then there's just like the side quests that you have too. It's just like, go eliminate this person from this dungeon or whatever, and it's like, but I've already been there before. Why are you sending me back there? I don't want to go back there. I mean,
I get that. Yeah,
I just feel like the dialogue options, I kind of like when your character does not have a voice actor that plays his voice, because you can have the dialogue options where you're just like, fuck you, and then you try to be a dick in Fallout 4, and it's just it didn't feel like I was being like a hard ass, I felt like I was kind of just being some like passive aggressive prick sometimes. I was just like, this kind of sucks, And then I tried Fallout 76. Yeah, if I'm gonna be a dick, I'm gonna go all the way. I'm not gonna half-ass being a dick. But I like with Fallout 76. Truly,
I was just gonna say there was some truly fucked up dialogue lines in 3 and New Vegas.
But it was really awesome.
Dark shit.
They were awesome though. And that's like, I don't know, like I felt like you could be who you wanted to be more, and for an RPG, that's what it's all about, right? Is building your character, putting yourself. I just want to be
who I want to be.
Yeah. God damn it. And then I tried Fallout 76, and like I could not get immersed into it, and partly because I felt like I was just playing Fallout 4, which I've already played so much of. Mm-hmm. It felt like I was just playing Fallout 4. Like a lot of the item models and the textures and all that stuff are right from Fallout 4, and I just like it felt like a very arcadey kind of game on top of it all. Like the movement and all that stuff just felt arcadey to me, and I couldn't immerse myself into it. And for me, immersion in video games is the single most important factor when I'm playing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Why do they think things need to be MMOs? Like they did that with Elder Scrolls. They've done it with Fallout now. Like, I mean, I don't like no hate on MMOs at all, but like I just don't like.
I think it was always that thing where people were like, "God, I love playing Oblivion.
Wish I could play with my friends."
Okay, but that doesn't mean it needs to be a fucking giant MMO though. Like, could they not just put in a like? I'm just spitballing here, but like, why couldn't they just put in a co-op mode? Like
I'd actually be interested in playing the multiplayer though.
For them, it might be easier for them to just create an MMO instead of trying to like put in all kinds of all the dynamics that come with multiplayer into just the base game.
Maybe,
I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just throwing.
Because I'm guilty of I'm guilty of that. Like, wow, this would be fun with friends. But like on the other hand, like I would rather them make a like I just feel like it's like that old thing, like why if it ain't broke, don't fix it sort of thing. Like why do we have to completely change the make? Because it changes. I mean, like every time I watch Fallout 76, I'm like, yeah, I love Fallout. This looks cool. The graphics look good, but like isn't there no what's your fucking the Pit-Boy what's
slow
the
time thing?
Yeah,
VATS.
is it VATS? Yeah, like
It's just
there's
like
no
a lock-on
VATS, right?
system, kind of, but it doesn't slow
But
time.
there's no way you could have VATS in.
I know. That's what I mean.
No. So it exists.
point.
It doesn't slow time. Is the only difference. Like it exists.
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty sure you could target specific limbs. I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure it works just like regular VATS. But you don't slow time down because everything has to be real time, of course.
Right. I guess that's my point. It's like you by changing it from a single player to an MMO, you lose out. Like you can't flip that switch and have all the game elements that make Fallout.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and I just don't understand sometimes why.
But I also feel like maybe
this.
I haven't given it enough of a chance because I heard it's a really slow, boring start. But there's like I know a lot of people that have been so into Fallout 76 and that they loved it, like just religiously played it, and like maybe I just need to give it more of a chance. But I don't have enough time.
Yeah,
to grind through the beginning. I was watching Jolfie actually play it yesterday, and
me too.
He was like, hey, if you want to do multiplayer sometime. And I was like, maybe I should just try the multiplayer because that's like the big thing about this game, right? Is that it's a multiplayer Fallout game. And maybe I should just try that out and see how I like that. I don't know. But at some other time, there's too many other games to play right now. Which is not a bad problem.
A really, really wild concept right here. And that is, everyone get your pens and pencils ready. Write this down. Mm-hmm. If you don't like it, you don't gotta play it.
I want to like it though.
Is that
Fallout.
for me?
Yeah, just in general, like if they want to make an MMO, it's okay. Like
that's fine.
Make an MMO. It's fine.
Actually, I had some fun with Elder
Scrolls. If you don't like
Online.
it, don't play it. It's fine, and then we all move on. Wow! Look, holy shit!
I thought the point of this podcast was to bitch about things and make people upset.
Yeah, like bitch about your taste of food, which
yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh,
holy shit.
Oh, I almost forgot about this. All right, here we go.
Here we go.
That's what we're doing. Okay, so if anyone didn't know, Ginger's taste opinions on restaurants and foods and stuff is terrible.
It's not true.
Terrible.
Not true.
This man said he finds Chick-fil-A to be meh.
The heresy.
I mean, I don't understand why that's a controversial opinion.
Because you, sir, are wrong.
I didn't say it's bad.
Yeah, but you said it was meh.
It's amazing.
I think you called it overrated too. I think is what you said.
It definitely is overrated. Yeah, I'll stick by that. I'll stick my guns there.
It's not definitely overrated, first of all.
What's it like to be wrong? Because
apparently it's fine.
I grew up where I grew up. There wasn't any Chick-fil-A, so when I had it for the first time, I was like, "Holy crap! Like this is a fast food place. Like this actually really fucking good." And that Chick-fil-A sauce, man, it just doesn't get any better.
Chick-fil-A sauce is one of the best things ever put on the planet.
Ever.
It's absolutely incredible.
Ever.
It's incredible. I got a little email last night. You can apparently order like bottles of that shit, and they're doing like a Christmas thing. And I'm like, I'm just gonna order myself bottles of Chick-fil-A sauce. Fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
I want it.
I didn't know you could do that, but I want to do that.
So.
I'll put that shit. I'll put that shit in my cereal, dude. I'll put it anywhere.
My cereal.
Yes, indeed. So what makes up your opinion that Chick-fil-A is not anything special?
I don't know. I just don't. I think it's probably just the wrong audience. Like I'm not a huge fan of like chicken sandwiches in general. Like I just don't. That's just not something. Like if I have a menu in front of me, like I'd much rather have a burger or like an actual like
they got chicken
turkey
nuggets.
Sandwich or something like that. So I don't.
You would rather have a turkey sandwich over a chicken sandwich?
Most places, yep. Mm-hmm. I would. Yep.
Yeah.
Like a good sandwich with peppers and lettuce and onions and good like salt and pepper and like yeah.
And chicken, yeah, I agree. It would be awesome.
Fried chicken as well. Yeah. Uh-huh.
I mean, like I said, I don't hate it, but like on a list of things, Like this is kind of like if your wife ever asks you like, what do you want to eat tonight, and you're like, I don't care. And she wants you to have a preference.
She's not going to make a decision.
Well, I know. Like that, you're getting an insight into like how my life works, because like it's not as though like I'm going to be upset if I have to have a chicken sandwich, but just on a list of preferences, like, you know, it wouldn't be my first choice, but I'm going to be okay with it one way or the other.
All right. How about this?
I want to hit you with a chicken sandwich right now.
Oh my God. See, this is
so like, I understand though. I understand because chicken sandwiches aren't your thing. I understand because chicken sandwiches aren't your thing, so that changes things a little bit. I thought you were saying that like Chick-fil-A doesn't have the best damn chicken sandwich out of any fast food restaurant.
I mean, I'm not a big fan. Like it's like asking me what
chicken nuggets?
Like, huh?
You like chicken?
I like
nuggets?
chicken nuggets. Their chicken nuggets are pretty good. Yeah.
You dip them in, and then the waffle fry. I mean, the waffle fries are almost
waffle
like
fries in the Chick-fil-A sauce.
Yes.
Is just
listen.
out of this
I'm not
world.
saying it's bad. I'm just saying I don't like it. I think it's overrated and it's not my favorite. Like, why can't you guys like see this?
You're not allowed
like
to have that opinion.
I know. Like, see, that's the thing, and that pisses me off because it's like right back to our cyberpunk discussion.
Pisses me off.
You say anything bad about cyberpunk, and all of a sudden, all the fucking Reddit hordes come after you, and they're like,
fucking downvoted, Ginger.
Exact same thing. It's the exact same thing.
Downvote you to oblivion. Okay, okay, hold on. Eliminate two of these things. Ready?
Okay.
Tacos, fries, beer. Actually, I'm just going to take beer off because none of us are going to eliminate beer. Tacos, fries, burgers, soda, pizza, and cake.
I take off cake right away. Cake
soda
goes
and
away.
cake.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
soda
think
and
we
cake.
could agree on that. Soda and cake?
Yeah.
Hang on. Run through them one more time, and you can leave out cake.
Tacos, fries, burgers, soda, and pizza.
Yeah, I'd probably just leave out soda.
Yeah, I don't drink soda.
I do like with a meal, but I would
burger with the soda though.
I love the soda with that, but like I don't.
Pizza,
I'm not.
pizza and soda
I'm not
really
about
good.
to throw one of those food items out over a drink. Like that's the issue.
And you can still have a burger and a beer. So
that's true.
Exactly. So
That's
I'll just drink alcohol, which I do anyways. But
you can still have a burger and a shake. Like
French fries aren't really that great though, to be honest. Like if I had to live without French fries.
Let's get him, Kyle. Let's get him.
Downvote me. I don't care.
I completely 100% disagree, and I'm a big I'm a big proponent of you need to have a complete meal, including a side item with your entree. So you cannot throw fries out because fries
tater tots would be just as good as a replacement for fries.
Depends.
Yeah,
I don't know about
tater tots. I like tater tots a lot, but fries are still something special. Yeah. Especially like the nice the wedge pub fries. Oh,
see, I don't like those as much. I don't like the
crispier ones. The crispier fries.
I need some crisp to it. I feel like when you bite into the
let's
wedge
fucking
fry,
get Ginger. He doesn't like crispy fries.
You piece of shit. No, I don't like getting to the middle of a wedge fry and it feels like I bit into a raw potato at the end of it.
But those aren't done right. Like you got to have I agree with you, but you got to if you have the one like a good pub fry. It's admittedly hard to find, but that have the crispiness and it's cooked all the way through. Like that's that's the best.
What I don't like when in fries is, I don't know, Tango, if you've ever had it, but there's a place out here called Freddy's Steak Burgers. I know Kyle's had it.
I haven't.
So Freddy's has a great burger, good food. They have great frozen custards and stuff too. I do not like Freddy's fries. They're like literally this big, this thin.
Yeah, the shoestring fries.
Yeah. And you have to pick like a fistful of them just to get like enough,
that's the point.
To get the texture.
It's miserable. Yeah. I hate it.
I want to try a fistful and then you cram them into your mouth. And then
because I want to dip in the fry sauce, but then every time I go to dip in the fry sauce, I lose like 3 because they all fell out and they lost their structure.
And they're like all over your face, like all over your cheeks.
It's an absolute disaster. Although I love their seasoning. I do love the seasoning.
Have you guys had In-N-Out?
Yeah.
What do you think about In-N-Out?
Oh, it's my absolute favorite fucking.
Yeah.
Is it?
Absolute
Good.
best thing in the world. I would fillet people for In-N-Out. It is the best thing ever.
So, okay,
Bring it. I've made my offer. Now you know where to fucking meet. Okay. In-N-Out is the best thing on the planet. I love that.
I think we found our fucking stinger or whatever the fuck.
I enjoy In-N-Out. The first time I ever had it, like, so my wife's from California, you know, so when in Rome, you do as the Romans do and you eat In-N-Out. And I had an animal style burger with animal style fries. And I think you think that just a regular burger from In-N-Out is what makes it?
I am of the opinion that doing the animal style in In-N-Out, and there's plenty of In-N-Out fanatics that will stab me for saying this, but I believe that the animal style actually takes away from the In-N-Out.
You think so? Okay, I have to try it without animal style then, because I've only ever had animal style, and I was like, because it's just like one of those secret menu items, you know, you don't you don't advertise it. So my wife was like, you got to get the fucking the animal style. You got to get it. I'm like, what is animal style? She's like, I don't know. It's not on the menu. I can't even tell you what's in it. It's fucking great. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try it out, and I really enjoyed it, but I'll have to try it without it now.
Here's something that I'm sure, here's an opinion that I kind of have that will probably piss you guys off because you've already talked about it a little bit, but like
another one,
a burger. Okay. Like I apply this to most like meats, but like, I'm not anti-sauce on meats, but like a burger in particular, I think I'm of the opinion that less is more. Like I like you go to like a restaurant or a pub or something, and they'll have like a burger with avocado and a fried egg.
Oh, dude, I love me a good blue cheeseburger. Oh,
those are good. Those are good. But if you can't nail the simple, like just like meat, cheese, a little bit of crisp, like lettuce or onion or something, and a good bun, like I don't like that hits the spot more than. My mouth is like water.
And a
right
beer.
Now. Such a
I know.
kid.
I'm about to go get a burger. It's like 9:30 a.m., dude. I'm about to go get a burger for breakfast.
Let me pull up DoorDash. I'm going to get some lunch ordered. Hang on.
The other thing, though, that I apply this to, like one time, this is a funny story. So one time, my wife's family is, I don't know, like very like they're the kind of people that would like slather ketchup on everything, you know, which drives me fucking insane. But like so, I made. You guys know that I have like a smoker and I like to barbecue, right? So I made this like giant fucking pork, like one of the best pork shoulders that I've ever smoked, right? Like just tender. And like if you do, in my opinion, it's fine to have barbecue sauce, but like a lot of times when I'm cooking for myself, I don't like, especially smoking, I don't even have it because like if I fuck that meat up so bad that I need to slather it with sauce, then I fucked it up. So I didn't even think to buy it, even though I had guests, so I should have thought this. But like, and then like, you know, I spent all this time making this barbecue, and I've got it all put out on the table and everything. And they're like, their first thing is like, "Where's the barbecue sauce?" And I'm like, I just want to kill you. Like
I thought you were gonna say, "Where's the ketchup?" I could understand the barbecue sauce slightly more, but if you were gonna say they slathered ketchup on it, I was gonna be like, "That's just disrespectful."
But that's when I realized that like my tastes are a lot different because like I'd rather have just the the barbecue. Like I don't need to eat
if it's
sauce.
cooked well, if it's cooked right, like just the barbecue itself is just delicious.
Should not need anything to it.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys know me. I'm a big steak man. I like some dry rub on there. You know, like I like my seasonings, like my dry rub seasonings, but I don't like put barbecue sauce on my steaks or anything. I enjoy the taste of the meat.
I made.
You heard it here, folks.
You heard it here.
One that hasn't,
I said it. I enjoyed the taste of the meat.
This podcast really went in a different direction than I expected. I'm not gonna lie. I couple things. Hey, to go back to In-N-Out to let you know. So when I go to In-N-Out, because I just like the sanctity of that cheeseburger, I get a just plain cheeseburger when I go. I get a plain double. Just meat, cheese, and bun. And it is just so perfectly put together. That's all you need, in my opinion, there. And
the nearest In-N-Out to me is like 3 hours away from here. Now I might go take a trip down there sometime.
Yeah, they opened. I know they've got one outside of Salem, just on the north end of Salem. But I think that's my dad, because my dad.
They just built one in the city I just moved from. Like literally, like a week after I moved, they were like
that's
opened
big
it.
Sad.
And the other thing I was going to say is I made ice reverse seared, which is where you smoke. You smoke up to just below like the desired temp that you want a steak, and then you throw it on some really high heat to kind of sear the edges and lock all the juices in, right? I reverse seared a couple of prime ribeyes that was probably about a month ago. And you want to talk about if you have a good slab of meat, you don't need anything on it. That was all I did was salt and pepper before I put it on. And it was the best piece of meat I've ever put in my mouth.
The best.
The best. You heard it here.
All right.
I've got the best meat.
I think.
What's the matter, Ginger? You're the only one that hasn't commented on your taste in meat yet. Well,
yeah.
I think I have, actually.
No, you have.
Yeah. You have. I prefer it plain. No sauce on it.
No. just like the plain meat.
We'll be lucky if this one doesn't come off of YouTube.
Just dry rub. That's all.
We're talking about food here, guys. What do you mean?
Yeah. Get your minds out of the gutter, you disgusting fucks. Oh, Jesus. Well, guys, we what are we at time wise? I think we're about an hour
25.
Right?
Yeah.
We spent zero time talking about the topics we decided on a week ago.
and it's even better. We're all the better for it. That was a fun one.
Yeah, it was.
I'm glad Tango brought up the food thing. I completely forgot about that. Fucking Ginger. All right, guys. Well, I think we're gonna call it. Ginger, Tango, thank you for hanging out. It was fun as always.
I'd like to say that because we are now on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts, that we should actually give out all of our social media information. Say it, because not everybody's going to have the video description this time around.
Sure, that's a good call. So if you guys haven't already found out, we do have we are on audio version only on Spotify, Apple, and are those the only two, or are we on
Google and Amazon as well?
Okay, Amazon too. Huh.
Yeah,
if you
iTunes.
Yep. And so if you guys don't have the time or ability to watch the video podcast and you want to listen in the car or something, we are available. So I actually don't even remember if my Twitter handle is abbreviated or not. So you guys go ahead.
I think it is.
I guess I'll start off. You can check me out on Twitter and on Twitch at 12TangoDom. And yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
Tango has actual consistent marketing, branding. You can find me at twitch.tv/GingerBeerdGaming, beard spelled BEERD, like the beer that you drink. And then I'm on Twitter at GingerBeerd92.
And I, like Ginger, do not have consistent branding. So I am at twitch.tv/AngryPrivateRyan, all spelled out. But on Twitter, I am at AngryPrivate. Private is abbreviated PVT Ryan. So thank you guys for checking it out. And the link to all of those socials will be down below in the YouTube description as well if you're watching video-wise. So thanks, guys. Thank you again. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
It was really fun, dudes.
Episode 7. Yep. And we'll appreciate you guys. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Bye.
Bye.